was like leading the way, putting down serpent wards and taking a bunch of tower.
Yeah.
So cruise control is a very good way to put it.
And this was a game where Cancel got first blood, so he's got the souls to start up.
Yeah.
Do you feel like they should have? Because I don't know, because when he got those souls, obviously OG made the call to have the Shadow Shaman mid at the start as well. Should maybe mid or feed reply differently to that?
I mean, the middle lane was also really weird because he had the soul advantage, but I think just NoTail and Jerax did a great job of controlling the Shadow Fiend despite the Sand King being there. He got one kill on Jerax mid, but at that point NoTail was actually still keeping up in farm, and at one point he fell behind later, but at one point he was ahead. He still came out of the laning phase just fine despite the early first blood. And then you have your Sand King that's supposed to go around the map and create a lot of pressure, but aside from that one kill, he didn't really do anything.
True.
Yep.
We have a draft for game number 2, so Charlie, if you will, the war room is ready, and I mean, we already decided it wasn't a draft issue for mid or feed. It was not really. Although to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised to see Anti-Mage getting banned out. He's not. So far, mid or feed banned out Brewmaster,
Shadow Demon,
Puck, and Shadow Demon. Yeah.
and then we got Wyvern and Tiny on the other side.
Brewmaster.
Actually, I just want to talk a tiny bit more about that Veno versus the Shadow Fiend. Even when Shadow Fiend has a damage advantage, once you get a level 2 Gale on that Shadow Fiend, he's still very squishy. With some amount of pressure coming in from the Shaman, you could force a lot of easy kills, or you force Shadow Fiend to play back. And that's kind of what happened, despite the fact that he got first blood.
Okay. And with the ban of mid or feed banning out the Puck, they do also recognize that what you said, Charlie, that the Puck was the star of the show, enabling the anti-mage.
And they can put him either mid or off lane. Very versatile hero. And then dying.
That is an undying first pick. We've seen it a couple of times this week. It hasn't been super convincing, has it?
Is that Radiant?
That is Radiant indeed.
I think the traditional knock against Undying is that he kind of falls off, but it comes down to what do you do with your Undying after the lane stage. Because we saw, I believe, was it EG or...
We've seen a bunch of teams run this, and I don't remember seeing it win.
I don't remember seeing it win that much either. There's an Ogre Magi and a Shadow Shaman coming out from OG. They liked the Shadow Shaman previously. Do you like this opening, Lumi? It's because it's very...
These are two of the biggest lane bullies, right?
Yes.
And more importantly, these two lane bullies are not tied to a lane, like, for example, Lich would be. So it gives OG a lot of versatility in terms of wherever they keep their lane. You can even run an offensive tri-lane with these two supports if you want to.
And that is a Nature's Prophet.
One of the strongest off-laners there is, when especially dealing with supports. He hits for 65. You can make 2 Treants that hit for a total of 70. So Shaman is going to, in particular, have a lot of issue with that.
5 seconds remaining.
Do you feel like this is also an open start for mid or feed with the Undying and the Nature's Prophet?
I think these two are going to be your off-lane heroes, with the Undying on the support. That's my guess.
Okay, just to do a lane there.
Yeah.
What do you think, Charlie? What do you think of the openings?
Big fan of Nature's Prophet, not a big fan of Undying. And, you know, Ogre's a very... I think that hero's seen a lot of success lately. Both actually in DreamLeague from VP and EG. And then Shaman offers some push, lockdown. Kind of whatever right now. Still very open for OG. Just because I don't like Undying that much, I'd rather be OG right now.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Venge is the next ban for OG.
Vengeful Spirit banned by OG. So...
We saw Fear casting Bloodlust for about 5 hours that day on the NA qualifier. With nothing but Ogre Magi.
It's about all his mind can take right now.
That's a ban. That's a ban, Trevor.
Oh,
and the Queen of Pain ban with the Sven ban as well. Queen of Pain. Of the tempo setters, so they want to make sure that mid or feed
10 seconds
maybe
remaining.
can't set super high tempo with the help of their mid.
Turn to pick.
Phantom Lancer is the ban for mid or feed. Why would they ban that? What's the logic?
We know that No-Tail really likes PL, even back in the days about a year ago. Now, even though No-Tail plays the mid now, it's very easy for them to swap it back, because Resolution definitely could play the mid, and
10
No-Tail could play the
seconds
carry.
remaining.
Which brings me to my next point. I feel like Ogre and Shaman are really good
5
support to set up
seconds
for
remaining.
Invoker
Okay.
as well. Resolution Invoker is one of his things.
True.
I don't know if we're gonna see it here, but
But with, yeah, because with Resolution playing mid, carry. You think that, I mean, it is
They-
still
they can swap
flexible.
lanes,
Yeah, they
yeah.
can swap about. They are very flexible.
but neither team really giving away too much of their strategies.
Nope. We're going to have a team giving away a little bit more of their strategies very soon because OG, they have to pick a hero. It's going to be the third hero they're taking into their bonus time. They don't have that much bonus time left. I mean, we're only 2 picks in and they only have 1 minute left of their 2-minute 10, I think there is. I'm pretty fast through it all. Let's see, which role would you select first? Would you go for an offlane hero first again?
Well, you see their off lane, so
Yeah.
you can counterpick that. You can set up for the rest of your 2 cores. Typically, I don't think a lot of teams like showing. Yeah. So is that a centaur?
That is a
That
centaur.
is-
I think teams usually don't like to show their 1 or 2 before the others.
Yeah.
Bad core matchups are something core players complain about a lot.
10 seconds remaining.
You gotta keep them core players happy too.
5 seconds remaining.
How's
This
the
is
centaur going?
another good setup for
Hey.
the Invoker Sunstrikes. Just gonna put that one
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah. Okay. Keeping that invoker in mind. Is there anything that mid or feed can pick up that can already deal with that? Like, which heroes can deal with an invoker?
Invoker is not exactly the strongest in the lane. For example, if you go like Viper and dying on the mid lane, I see like Invoker having a ton of issue. I wouldn't put too much stock on the Invoker pick. It's a good Invoker game, but it's not like necessarily that they have to go for it.
Okay. Mid or feed taking their time once again.
OGs turn to
And they go for the Bane, the Cindering special.
I like Bane here a lot because it makes the Centaur ult fairly an effective way to retreat as a team. You could Nightmare one, grip another, and all of a sudden, despite the Centaur ult, OG has to make a decision of like, are we
10
just sacking
seconds
two or are we
remaining.
running away? That kind of deal.
Radiant team pick.
By the way, oh, never mind. That's a Broodmother. We saw Broodmother yesterday by Team Liquid.
Yes, and they got countered hard by an Earthshaker mid.
Yes. And they lost that game.
10 seconds remaining.
What? Because we talked to who did we
5
talk to
seconds
afterwards? I think we talked to GH afterwards. What he thought about Broodmother? I can't remember what he said though.
Well, you ask them why they picked Broodmother. What made them think it was a good idea?
Oh yeah.
And then his reply was they didn't think.
Fair enough. That yeah.
So
Well, it's won them so many games just on like a cruise control sort of thing. They put
Right.
Broodmother mid. Teams don't know how to,
10
in the past,
seconds
haven't
remaining.
known how to deal with it. They just got used to it.
And I think
5
the best way to
seconds
deal with Broodmother is to have a mid laner that could sustain with it, which they picked Timbersaw, so that's checkbox number 1. But I think checkbox number 2 is that you need to be able to pressure the Broodmother as she's farming across the map. And that's what we saw out of No One's Shaker, right? Once you pick
He
up
was
Link
everywhere.
Shadowplay, he was just assassinating the Broodmother. Matumba Man, who had a 14-minute Deso MOM, still had Deso MOM like by the end of the game.
Yeah.
So right now, I don't see that hero for mid or feed. They could have a Prophet coming in with a Nightmare, I guess,
Team back.
Yeah.
but it's not something with an explosive amount of kill power.
No,
You
I
know-
think if they kill him, they need like 3 heroes.
despite the Timbersaw game, the Timbersaw mid, I still think this is a really good Brood game. Like your two supports don't really have wave clear. Prophet
10 seconds
isn't a threat to Brood.
Yeah.
You have one counter to him, and Brood can
5
just avoid the
seconds
Timbersaw.
Okay. Right. One more ban. What do we? Because if there's a Brood mid, we are still looking for a Rezo hero. Because I kind of feel like Brood is a no-till hero.
Yeah.
Am I saying that right?
I definitely see No-Tail playing the Brood.
Yeah.
I definitely don't see Resolution playing the Brood.
No. Hey, you never know. So we're missing a Rezo hero. Anything that you feel like OG is lacking? Because they got some team fight, I guess, but not an awful lot. They got tower push already. They got catch already.
Team pick.
OD is the one getting banned. So they don't want to deal with that.
Who has first pick out of the drafting phase?
It is mid or feed. So last pick goes to OG.
Okay.
Mid or feed is thinking about their last pick
10
first.
seconds remaining. OG's turn.
And they go for an Ember Spirit, the one that was banned out previously by OG, but they ban out Ember. Ember can deal with the spiders. Is it good enough?
I think it's actually a pretty good
It's
pick.
great, yeah. There's a lot of burst damage from the Ember as well, so that checks the
10
box of
seconds
catching the Brood and also killing the Brood.
You may now
Ooh.
select your
Is this a safe lane Storm or a safe lane Brood? This is crazy.
They could go either way with that. I think in any case they're gonna, because both Ember and Timber can deal fairly well with the Brood in lane. So they're gonna maybe try to put it up against the Nature's Prophet if they have the chance. But
So-
where are they gonna go?
Where do we think these two are going?
All the spirits.
I think safe lane Storm.
All right.
Safe lane
That's
Storm.
my guess.
All right.
So in this draft, I feel like Undying is very stretched.
You can come over.
He needs to be in pretty much every single lane to help them win the lane,
Yeah,
and he can't be.
he can't be.
So I think OG's gonna run away with this draft with the Brood and Storm. There's just not
5
enough lockdown.
seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
I'm not a fan of the Undying either. I would go for OG as well.
I'm also going for OG. I think between, just like you guys said, Bane is the only hero that can lock down Storm. It's also not enough lockdown for Brood. Centaur, like you have a lot of ways to lock down the Prophet as well, and the Ember Spirit. So
Yeah. All right. Well, is OG gonna keep that dream alive? Let's find out with OD Pixel and Fog, the game 2.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Yes, game 2 now, OG versus Middle Feed. And no anti-mage this time around.
Nope.
A bit of a different draft. Geez, the Storm Spirit coming out this time round from Resolution. So we'll be interesting to see how they land. I guess, as the panel suggested, it will be the safe lane Storm, don't you think, Fog?
Did Charlie walk through a shot?
Charlie!
How dare you? You know, if I was Paul,
Prepare for
I would
battle.
rip.
Oh, I remember that.
Do a new
full
one.
statement, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Shout out
I
to
love
Paul.
you. Shout out to Paul. You're the best. Oh, I got that bug again. I gotta reconnect. But yeah, I think it's a similar kind of thing that OG is going for this time around. They picked the Storm, hard, elusive carry. Scales well through the late game. They have Bloodlust as well on top of that to make him enable him even better. And what the panel mentioned several times, just a Bane. That is the only lockdown.
Cinderella.
So it will be very tough for them if they don't snowball out of control. They also don't really have the greatest tower pushers. It's just Nature's Prophet. So they're really looking to just like win these lanes extremely hard and then try to just crush afterwards. But their team fight is also not really that great on the side of mid or feet. So I'm definitely extremely concerned for them in this game.
30 seconds to battle.
See how they can do. Cinder and the boys, they had a tough time in game 1. And I can't imagine it's going to go similarly out of control, because there is no anti-mage. There is no sort of flash farmer on OG's lineup. One can still get really scary, but he's not going to be reaching the 1000 GPM level of resolution anti-mage.
No,
as we said.
more than likely not. But he does have a pretty nice lane matchup if he is versus Ember Spirit. Static Remnant. You pretty much instantly pop the shield for the first 2 levels. Even up to the 3rd level, it's pretty easy to pop that shield. And I'm assuming Jarax is going to start in the mid lane.
Yep.
So that's 74 right click from Shadow Shaman versus a 1 armor Ember Spirit. should be pretty good. So Synderen will have to start mid, and they're doing these lanes again that I think benefit OG. It's Kezu versus a Broodmother, and then it's Timbersaw versus Centaur.
Look at this as well. Flight and Jerax going immediately for a smoke movement. See if they are able to get a catch on anyone. They're heading towards the top lane. Looks like they want to try and set up something for No Tail.
You mean for S4?
Oh, sorry, for S4.
That's probably the harder lane. The Centaur versus Timbersaw. Timber, once you get a couple levels in reactive armor and your Whirling Death, you can just start pushing the lanes out a little bit better than the Centaur. Centaur farms anyway, because you're in your safe lane, you can pull the lane.
Oh, look at this. I mean, at this point, they know he's level 1. They know he only has the reactive armor.
Yep.
And that armor is not going to save him. Even with Weehaw turning up, trying to help turn things around. He has to be careful himself. Shackle is available. And he's just gone and offered himself up. He's going to go with they didn't quite have the stun back for S4.
He had the
getting
12,
close.
He had the triple decays at the start, so he had that 12 bonus strength, and now he's got 20 strength. He's gonna be running a fly. He's got the double mango build too. He's just gonna be right-clicking them. Does a ridiculous amount of damage at the moment. 85 strength, 85 damage. One more hit, the decay. Bye-bye.
Oh, sick. Weehaw.
Mid now, Sind gets grabbed by Jerax. Rezo, they go for the kill. Last right click, they find it.
Rezo being able to stand back up as the mid lane was going at the moment. Pretty close between the two. If anything, a bit of an edge for Cancel. He's getting a few more denies. Rezo only able to get those.
Sin's giving them the, I'm gonna call it the solo treatment. Just enfeeble them over and over again, so you can allow your mid laner to do better. But that is gonna make it so No Tail has a very nice lane in bottom. Nature's Prophet cannot deal with these spiderlings at all.
He's doing all right at the moment. It's 7 CS. He's still farming this Nature's Prophet, but as you say,
it gets worse and worse.
Sure.
Yeah.
He has to be very careful how close he gets, and we're going to see stuff like this where he just knows he's got a TP out as soon as the spider comes running in.
Yep. Once the Soul Ring comes up, the Broodmother has a very good... I think she has like Soul Ring and the Blightstone. That's where Nature's Prophet just really suffers. Sind gets a DD rune, so he's going to be able to put a little bit of pressure here on OG. They don't really want to step up with that. They're going to try to distance themselves, throw right clicks from as far away as possible. Weehaw, it's the Remnant.
We're very low. Yeah, we are relying on the decay, and now Cancel.
Soul Rip.
Forward, yeah. They'll take one. Thinking about running down Resolution, but he can't quite.
Kezu
change a little long.
actually goes to the jungle rather than even attempting to contest.
I mean, you said it was a tough lane. And
I don't think you can ever leave just an open lane, though. That's not what you want to give to OG on top of them having a Storm Spirit.
but how else could you address this matchup that's sort of been bad? Would you like some TP support stuff? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that makes more sense. I was going to say, I'm like, for this, they can't just leave a Brood alone. He'll farm out of control because he farms jungle as well as the whole creep wave every single time. Did No Tail? Oh, No Tail actually messed up there. He used his spawn spiderlings too early, so he didn't actually get them from the other champion. So he'll run out of spiders for the time being. He's back at the mid lane. Now Weehaw. This is something people used to do a lot versus Ogre, was the Undying. You just like kind of follow him around and throw the case. And you're one of the few heroes that can actually stand toe-to-toe versus Ogre. So we have what looks like it's going to be like a try versus try lane kind of happening in the mid lane mostly. Everyone just playing around. And S4 doing just fine on the Centaur again.
Yeah, and as you say, game 1 S4 made a lot of stuff happen. Got a very quick blink dagger on the puck. 10 minutes in. See No Tail on the hunt for the courier. He wants it. He's not going to get it though.
Jerax and Rezo, Rezo actually gives Jerax his bottle, so Jerax has an Invis rune now, so they're going to look for a setup kill here, because Rezo's suffering a bit in that mid lane because of the Bane. Bane Ember Spirit, pretty strong even if there's a dual lane coming up from OG, because Storm is just a weak hero in the laning phase early on. He needs levels to become that powerhouse.
See if they can get anything with that Invis ring that he talks about. He's got his eyes on Weehaw. Him and S4 could have a shot. It's hard though, there's him dying. If he turns around and gets a decay.
You need one more.
Yeah.
One more hero.
Make sure they have enough
coming.
burst. There we go. Now he's going to look towards Kezu. He's the easier kill. Oh, split decision here. Because Jackals is on one. S4 makes a run for the other, and because of that, Kezu gets away. Weeha's going to be fine, and Jerax is going to end up going down. And, I mean, was that the play really to split up and go for two, or should they have focused on one?
I think they focused on one. I think that had to have been like...
And now Fly's in trouble too. Kazu's TP'd in, they're diving him under the tower with Tombstone. Fly is not getting away, surely, with the Treants chasing him. Fly is gone. We are still alive.
Now Jarex as
He's
well.
in trouble again. The feed train has turned up on top lane for OG as middle feed just get kill after kill. Oh dear, what a blunder and a half for OG on that top lane. All off the back of a failed attempt to really kick things off. Going for separate targets and then methodically dying one by one.
They have to be careful of doing that kind of thing. Like we said, the one successful thing for emitter feed is that they have these strong lanes if they just get ran out of this. Undying and Bane, two of the stronger supports in laning phase. Nature's Prophet as well. They have the extra treants for the soul rip damage. But yeah, OG can't make those kind of mistakes here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Rezo actually gets pushed out of the zone. He's just jungling now in the offensive jungle. So Sin Bane putting in work already across the map, mid and top. And we just stand home. So it's gonna be up to Noto and S4. Well, mostly just pretty much all four heroes on OG to make space for Rezo. He's gonna need a lot of time to just get back online here. Once he does, though, we've said it multiple times, there's not a great amount of disables coming out from midfield. Bane and then the Ember Searing Chain to catch out that Storm Spirit.
Yeah, we can probably expect to see the Nature's Prophet itemized in a way that, well, it's going to involve some sort of Orchid. Or...
Yeah. Oh, Kazu, he's getting found here by S4, but there's no other rotations.
And we are there.
OG.
Yeah. It's enough to scare S4 off. S4 can't go for the kill.
Thought we'd have some TP rotations coming out from OG, but no. Instead, TP is coming out from mid or feed. They're pinging out S4. Cancel. Trying to close the gap. There's still a Stampede at the ready. Holding it as long as possible.
So we'll be fine. Bit of waste of time, if anything, from middle feed. They sort of try and chase towards a kill that seemingly impossible to get. Wrap around for Noto. The Spiders in our mid, trying to bring them down with the remnants, but not quite enough damage. The Spiders, at the moment, he's just bringing them around in circles. Sort of baiting Cancel away. Cancel is continuing to try and hit them with the remnants, but look, OG, now they're going to stop fussing around the mid lane. They're going to look at their jungle, because Rezo just gets invaded by Weeha and the gang as they walk in and they crush the Storm.
Aggressive ward coming out from Wee. They know that Rezo's jungling since they pushed him out of the lane, so great play them coming out from them. No tail though. Now looking to get some kind of return kills here.
He's bringing towards Kezu, but Weeha drops the tombstone down. Pops the mango. He gets stunned up by Fly, but they've got the control of No-Tail. They buy his way through the tree line. Stampede chase down. They get Kezu. Weeha falling low. They have the lockdown. Weeha, he's going to go down as well. That's what OG needed. Couple of quick kills.
Tomato in the meanwhile taking advantage of this, trying to cut that bottom wave, push the tower.
Dire's bottom tower.
As you said, there's still so much time needed for the Storm Spirit. Rezo, he is not where he wants to be at this stage of the game. He needs space.
He's still behind, but that's where the other two start to come out ahead. You know, S4 is gonna have a very early blink dagger to this game, and No-Tail, if he wants to, can just pick up the Desolator pretty much now. Already finished up. Bottom. Very important for Midderfeed to take advantage of getting early towers, because like we were mentioning, they don't have great tower seals. It's pretty much just Nature's Prophet at this moment. Or for quite a long time even. Early tower is very important for them. No-Tail. Walking his spiders up, looking to put some pressure onto that top tower. And instantly Tomato reacts. So this is where No-Tail has to back off, go back to jungling for a bit, or just move away from that Timbersaw lane.
And then looking towards Cancel, but Cancel, he's fine. Remnants away.
Dire's top tower.
He's out of there. Kezu level 6, going for the drums, of course, after the fake. Top middle feed grouping up, ready to put some pressure onto this tier 1 tower. Kezu will join the cause as well.
Yep.
Should be able to claim this tower with no sort of answer from OG.
Good movement. Like we said, they gotta get those early towers. If
Yep.
they can close the gap of the map onto that Storm Spirit, it is a bit rough for Rezo to catch up. No-Tail, I feel like, has to be getting these split pushes happening whenever Midderfeed goes to threaten one side, he has to threaten the other side. Or they can fall very far behind in map control.
Dire's top tower is falling.
No tell. Should be able to find this tier 1 if He wants to push. He's being a little careful as he is low. Some of middle feeder are still off the map.
OG has to bring a lot of heroes back to respond. Go bottom, cancel. Stampede coming out, they're looking for mid, Weehaw.
That's the Shackles. Rezo comes in for the glory.
That'll be Blink Dagger finished up on S4. Then they can actually look to set up these kills a lot easier. Right now they don't have great setup. They have to continue trying to defend these towers too, because they don't have deep pushes. What I was trying to say, so they need to bring like 2 or 3 heroes each time they want to stop this mid or feed push. Motto is very, very, very tough right now to bring down.
They're getting tower after tower here, middle feed fly. See if he gets some sort of a lead in, but I mean, Tomato just jumps straight in on him with the chakra and burst down, fly to half health. They'll go forward. Kezu leading the way. Has to sprout. The instant cut out of the trees is there, and Fly will be safe, but oh no. Left behind will be Jax. As he gets cut down, they take the tower, get a kill as well. It's looking scary for OG. Middle feed, they've got the lead. And then, Blink Daggers there. They need something big to stop these sort of pushes, but it's 11 and a half minutes in. And
it's really not good for OG.
They may lose a tier 3.
They don't have deep push, they just have Jerax's Aether Shock. Long zip comes in.
There's a good host on a zip in. Will take down Weehaw. They turn towards Kezu, looking for more. Bloodlusting up Resolution, but a Nightmare's there from Sin. Holds back the Storm. Only be the support going down. Cancel's actually coming for the fight. He's got the change on S4. Massive Nature's Wrath comes through. S4 is down. They have the Fire Blast onto Cancel, but Cancel, oh, shackled as well. That'll do it. They get the kill, but look at Tomato. Walking into the midst of them all, taking down Resolution as well as S4. 2 cores down. And they're losing this tower.
No-Tail's gone for Radiant.
Let's see what it can do. Gives them the rundown, burn down. Cinder puts him in the Nightmare. Nightmare will be taken off. No-Tail.
No more webs.
Nah, you can't continue to chase that. It's looking scary for OG.
That is really, really tough. They have to be quicker on their responses to be able to push out the side lanes. They have to make it so mid or feed responds to the Broodmother pushes instead of just being able to go high ground like that, because OG does not have great deep push. They have to just go for these big jumps with the Centaur, with the Storm, as we saw coming out from them there. Now maybe with Shadow Shaman is having 6 on Jerax here, they can start doing that split push a little bit better, but yet they have to watch out right now. This is not a good time for OG to be at this kind of deficit, almost losing their tier 3. Defensive wards need to be placed up for OG so they can see those pushes coming out preemptively.
Dire are scanning.
Middle feed, if they see a chance to go for that sort of just down lane again, it's going to be hard, and they're looking to set up for you know, the kill to transition into a push. They've smoked up. They know if they can find a big pick off, they can find a big push. No-Tail. He's coming close.
He saw it.
He does.
For a second.
He's in.
I think as soon as they see that...
He may still be in trouble though.
No.
Cancel gets the wraparound. He's got the chains into the Fiend's Grip from Sinner and No-Tail. Nice Radiance.
That's a big pick. I think they already have to start setting up for top. They throw the wards mid, and then I feel like they have to either cut the wave top or just react with every single one of their heroes. They can't let mid or feed knock on their front door. Left on the tower. They are not in a good place right now. They have the DD on the Storm right now on top of Treads with Kaya.
I mean, this tier 3 for sure is going down.
Yeah.
Maybe more of Rezo. And the Rezo trying to lead in on Tomato. 2 stones down. Rezo getting decayed. The ult on Undying. We are moving forward. The heal to Tomato. Cancel trying to chase him for the change connection, but Jerax will fly back up. Tier 3 is down. Middle feet there, eyeing up the racks. Cancel trying to see if he can get a catch with the chains, forced him Remnant out. Gets himself back to safety. Resolution has been enfeebled. And GR there. No-Tail's back as well to hold the defense. They will be able to take the Tombstone down and force middle feet to back up, but that's the tier 3 gone. Slowly but surely losing elements of the base OG. They need to make big plays with S4 and his Houston. They have to have that sort of catch.
They just can't really mess with Tomato at the moment. He is way too strong. 1700 HP on top of the hood. They don't have the damage to bring him down unless he's completely isolated. Mid or feed now, Kezu. Goes down bottom, but they still want to perch themselves up top. They want to keep that threat going there for OG to not be able to just split up the map. Midderfeed's actually doing a really good job of limiting OG's efforts.
Because they know if they keep putting the pressure on up top, there's no way that OG can sort of get a search party together to go and hunt down this split pushing nature's prophet.
Exactly.
And with that in mind, there's no way that OG can sort of get the farm back up to catch up unless they're able to break apart this sort of group up from middle feed up top.
Cancel. And Rezo, we're going to be duking it out a bit bottom.
Rezo doesn't have too much mana. Just have to be careful. He will go for the zip TP out. We'll save him. We're playing no middle feed move in. Get the push onto this tier 1 town. Notel's going to lead him, start to look for some sort of fight. Tomato, as you say on the front line, very beefy. Doesn't care at all about any sort of jump from OG. And OG know that they can't initiate on this Timbersaw. They have to catch someone else.
OG has very minimal team fight. It's pretty much Centaur Stomp, Frost Dispels. They have to have every single hero there. There is a regen rune bottom for Rezo. That could be one of the key successes for them to actually take one of these upcoming fights. Look at Tomato. No fear, just standing on the front lines there, just getting those reactive armor stacks up. They can't go for those kind of pickups. Cancel. Again, going for the top and clean up these spiderlings. Gonna get a lot of gold from them too. Notel not gonna micro them away.
Kezu as well. Taking shrine after shrine.
OG, they're smoked up here. Tomato commits in.
It's so hard to go on this Timbersaw. They're gonna try it, but they want someone to hide it, and they might just find that. It's just a jump in. Big Hoof Stomp to start off. Find the Splinter and Bane now. Moving across for more. They claim Weehar's life. Turn towards Tomato. Now with the 2 supports down, they've got a much better chance of bursting down Tomato. Tries to tip a chain away, but the vortex is there from Rezo. That is the sort of fight they take. You saw, oh, it may not be over yet. They're looking. No, to cancel. Should be fine.
Sind is in some trouble here. That was a buyback as well.
It was a buyback from Sin. That is what OG are looking for, to break through the front line. I think what we saw about were 2 heroes, just control the Timbersaw. The rest of the team, bam, jumped around and just get, whether it's Synderen or Weeheart is fine. They're the 2 supports, but as long as you can get some sort of kill to start things off,
yeah,
you can take these team fights. Of course, they do lose a bit of base damage. Whilst it was going on, I believe the creeps or treants and whatnot, they did take the range racks top. So they do lose a little bit in that sense.
But that's exactly the way OG needs to take the fights.
Sure.
Like you said, they saw Sin, both Rezo and S4 jumped on him, instantly killed him, and then the fight becomes a 4v5. As long as they can isolate the Timbersaw, that's when they can kill him. But as for just head up killing him, they still can't if there's teammates behind him. Weeha's Wall has gone for the drums. There's all early game items coming out from Midderfeed. They have to keep this advantage going. They can't let OG stall this game out for the Storm Spirit.
Orchid nearly there for Kezu though. It's gonna be a little bit of a worry for Reza.
OG, like, it's really tough though. For both sides, they can't really make mistakes in the next upcoming few minutes. One big mistake will just cost the game on either side.
Towards Tomato. Just showing the rest of the team behind him, same to be set for middle feed as they're smoked up. They're waiting for that sort of initiation cancel, heads forward. Thinking about starting things off, Ren off the cross, looking for the catch on the Noto, not going to find it. Stampy's there,
oh, on 2.
Gets the Husto on 2, Reza with a follow-up, gets the 2 kills, killing spree for Notel, and now they turn towards Tomato. They split middle feet apart. Kezu's trying to TP away, but Rezo's in there with the Vortex, dragging him back, beating down Kezu, gets the 3rd kill, and Tomato, he ain't getting out either. The Hustomp's there from S4, and again, S4, the patience, and then seeing that opportunity to come in, get that 2-man Hustomp. He's done it both times in these fights. When OG has been behind, S4 stepped up, and he's getting those jumps that they need.
Sind and Weehaw can't be standing together in those situations. They get caught out, and that's the team fight. That's literally the team fight for Midderfeed. If those 2 die, there's no way that they can take a fight versus OG. With that Bloodlusted Storm and Bloodlusted Brood Mother, they have to damage. But now, this Roche not going as fast as they want.
Cancel is there. Can they make some sort of big play? Yeah, OG know this is risky. They had to back off. Look how low resolution is. He barely had enough mana to sit back up to the high ground.
Midderfeed might just get this rush now.
I think they may want to. They've got Kezu. They've got the Treants. They can do it very safely themselves with the Treants tanking. And they will move back into the pit. OG, they need to somehow refuel Rezo back up and get him over if they want to contest it. And he is having to take the long walk back to base. He does have a TP, but guess what they don't have? There's no shrine there.
Yeah,
you can come over to the tier 2 mid, but yeah, with Kezu taking the shrine earlier, it may even be impossible for Rezo to get it. The rest of OG trying to buy as much time as they can to allow them to get in. And, you know, Rezo back in on the action.
Mirafeed's not showing any time. They need the naked Prophet to be hitting that for them to actually have
Tomato
gets bashed up, and they're going to got him now.
He's trying to keep his head out, but the bash there, the Nightmares there from Stim buying some time, gets round 2 off the Timber Chase. Synderen goes for the Fiend Script, but Rezo straight on top of the Bane, takes down Synderen. Jarex moves forward, he's got the Hex. Shaman Ward's down as well. Weehard's gone, mega kill streak for No-Tail, and Castle, he remnanted in on this one. He's trying to get back out, he's got the side of Fist and Remnant. Jarex still alive for now, Rezo jumping up. Tomato is trying to finish off Jarex, but Jarex, he's got the Hex, holding Tomato back. Tomato goes for the Chakra and will cut down Jarex, and they do lose Fly as well. But overall, No-Tail and Rezo still alive. Rezo low on the mana, but No-Tail, he's giving Cancel the rundown, and he does not have any remnants. The Radiance burn, nearly doing it. So we have one left, but indeed Rezo was there ready and waiting with the remnant that he'd already put out in the pit. And with that, OG will take Roshan. Tomato's there, but he can't get in time, and in fact, he may, well, if he gets chased down, a Blink Stomp could have caused issues. Still maybe a lack of damage to do so, but that's scary for Middlefield. Big fights, big plays from OG.
Oh, that's such a costly situation now. Now Storm has Bloodstone finished up on top of Kaya with the Aegis.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it just yet, but they may have lost their time window here versus this OG lineup. They have to keep trying to get this threat.
On the XP and the gold, it just bam, swings right around into the hands of OG.
Yeah. Jarex with Force Staff and Blink Dagger now soon.
He made some very, very nice little plays there in that fight.
The instant Hex onto Weehaw, unable to really get much off, and the Tombstone was already committed before that fight started too, so they didn't have their big team fight abilities from mid or feed. It's looking really scary now for mid or feed, honestly. Like, they need to just be able to keep threatening towers and have vision of where OG is going, and this was the big one that happened there. That two-man stomp.
S4.
Absolutely perfect.
The master of just finding those sort of jumps, regardless of what hero you put him on. You can rely on him to start the fight in a good way.
Yeah.
Just no hope for middle feed in a fight like that when it kicks off as it does.
It's gonna get harder and harder for them too, for the reasons that we mentioned earlier in the panel was talking about. The lack of disables versus Storm Spirit when he's online. He is now online. He's got Bloodstone, Kaya. They're looking to just smoke and take these engagements. They can't allow Midderfeet to just knock at their front doors, and I mean, the later this game goes, it's just heavily OG favor.
That's all they can get done here.
Getting the wraparound.
They are giving them the long wraparound. So they can catch. Rezo's already in. He's going straight away with the Vortex. Drags in Sinner, and that's the Bane down. Stampede pop. They do lose a second. Kezu's fallen. And OG, they're going for more. As soon as they pick apart the team, they can just continue to wipe them out. Methodically, piece by piece. Tomato down as well. These team fights proving to be incredibly easy for OG now.
Yeah, I really think Midderfeet lost their time window. That rush had to go in their favor. I don't know how they can deal with this brute force coming out from OG.
Some say Synderen lost his time window a few teams ago. But in this game, it's looking rough. S4. so I love Synderen.
I can't even look at you now.
I love you, Synderen. Come and cast it.
S4. He's looking perfect. They're closing the gap. Rezo's jumping in. Level 18, 19 Bloodstone charges. And cancel. Jarex.
There's the Hex into the shackles. OG's in. Oh, Rezo's got no mana, so he'll have to make the long walk over. And cancel off the back of that will be far worse. They'll be fine. No-Tail's trying to give him the rundown. Turns towards Tomato. Fiend Script there for Synderen. Oh, but the instant Hex from Jarex saving the Spider.
He will pay with his life.
A selfless play from Jarex. No. But it gets No-Tail out of there.
He had to save his body.
Yeah, he had to. Otherwise, he might have been kicked.
No, he's secure.
He's safe.
Storm Spirit's getting out of control. It's a big gold lead for OG. 15,000 experience lead. That's what experience actually is.
This is so hard to recover for middle feed, as OG certainly seeming to be on the verge of securing 2 of those 4 victories they need today to make it to the major.
This was scary for a moment, though.
It was early on was a little bit ooh and ah.
Yeah, especially because of Kezu's idea to take that shrine was really nice. But now they can't take head-on fights versus this OG lineup. Every single time, S4 finds the heroes that they... the perfect hero, honestly. Rezo and him jump on poor Synderin. Synderin dies. The control isn't there for the fights. And then Rezo jumps for Nature's Prophet, and they just can't really do much about it. They can't deal with this once he's at this point. Orchid is finished up on Kezu.
Okay. He's got to have some super close silences, though. And even at that, just the way that OG's playing around each other, it's going to be very hard for middle feed to silence someone and take them out before the rest of the team reacts. And oh, here comes Rezo. Zip zapping in on Tomato. Drags him back with the Vortex. There's the silence. And with that by sometimes to turn around, but the Force and the Stampede's there. Resolution's fine. And in fact, they want to try and get back in. S4 will be held back by the Chains and Remnant.
No-Tail's taking top as the meanwhile, too. They actually have to port and react and just let whoever is there die off.
I mean, No-Tail, to be fair to the man, he's been absolutely crushing this game. He's had a few rough ones, but this time round, he gets the Radiance. He's farmed an absolute treat, and he's had a good impact in the fights as well. He's 8-1-6 on the Broodmother. And here's Silence, goes TP out, and he'll make it. Good ball. Back to safety. Same can't be said though for the Ember Spirit. Cancel as he gets caught out once again by S4.
And there's an Orchid getting out on Rezo, so cancel. Anytime he shows, he's gonna get Orchid up and killed instantly. Same thing kind of goes for the Timbersaw until he has Lotus Orb finished up. They just have much easier ways to get these kills off.
See what they can do now. 26-14 OG with quite the lead in their cause. Looking good. Rezo. This is the Aegis.
He's keeping the Aegis regen.
He's keeping the Aegis regen as long as he can to set up for the kill. Silence onto Kezu. Another pick up for Rezo. He's up to 22 Bloodstone charges. Doing pretty good for himself.
The fact that Storm is involved in 24 out of the 27 kills shows just how important it was for him to catch back up.
And just how well Rezo's playing today. I mean, he was not having a good time in the lane this game, but now, 26 minutes in, he's 11-2-14.
He's jumping across the whole map looking for kills.
Oh my goodness. Rezo, he wants that major spot. He really does.
Oh, and look what runes bottom.
Oh, I'll take that.
Lovely.
That's fine.
24 Bloodstone charges, 60 mana per second. And, oh, a regen rune. And he's going to now go on Tomato. He's ready.
Oh, here we go. Where's the zip? He
goes.
And he goes with the silence, tracks in Tomato. Rezo, he wants another kill. And that man, he'll get another kill. Beyond godlike for resolution. I mean, they should start preparing his hotel room already in Sweden. As Rezo, he is doing everything to get that.
This game's in the bag. 14k gold lead. That succession of kills and team fights. OG just executing them perfectly.
Look at that. Graph is a bit of a sad story indeed for middle feed.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Latch. Last effort. Smoke up. And don't show on the map because Rezo will jump you from across the opposite side.
See what they can do here. Hotel in a little deep. Synderin has got the Fiend's grip.
Rezo,
look at the damage from that zip. Comes in, instantly wipes too. He has been silenced, but he will be fine. He's still got enough to zip back out. And if anything, they could look to re-engage if they see a chance to fly. Turns for the Fire Blast, holding back cancel. Tomato looking for the Chakram, but Rezo, indeed, he just goes back in onto the Timbersaw with the Orchid, takes him down. Tomato will get the chance to deny himself, but the rest of Synderin's team are just being picked apart, piece by piece. Back to the base, Cancel tries to make it, but Fly goes in. Rezo looking for the kill. Ooh!
Uphill miss.
Uphill miss. RNG against Rezo.
Oh, but the fire cancel is fine. But they killed him on the back.
And GG is called. It is all over, ladies and gentlemen, as OG complete part one of their trip to the major as they get the clean 2-0 against middle feed. One more series stands in their way, and it, without a doubt, will be the more...